Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, and welcome to another Pokemon Movesets video. Today's video is going to be all about Whiscash, so let's get started by taking a look at this Pokemon's typing, abilities, and stats. So to start things off, Whiscash is a water-ground type Pokemon introduced into Generation 3 that has access to 3 abilities, with the first one being Oblivious, which makes it so that this Pokemon cannot be taunted or attracted, the second being Anticipation, which allows Whiscash, when it enters the battlefield, to warn you of if your opponent has a super effective move or a one-hit KO move or not, and the third being Hydration, which is its hidden ability that makes it so that while rain is up on the battlefield, this Pokemon will be cured of any status it is inflicted with, such as a burn at the end of the turn. But as for its stats, this Pokemon defensively possesses a base 110 HP stat, 73 defense stat, and 71 special defense stat, which does allow this Pokemon to be pretty bulky, especially also considering the fact that it's only weak to one type of attack, which is that of grass type moves, and also being a water type, giving it access to Scald, which gives it a potential chance to burn opposing physical attackers to allow it to take physical hits even better from them. But on the other hand, its offenses are about average, possessing a base 78 attack stat and a base 76 special attack stat, meaning that you can go either physically or specially offensive with this Pokemon depending on how you want to run it. And then lastly, this Pokemon possesses a base 60 speed stat, which isn't terribly slow but also not terribly fast either, so it's going to kind of fall in the middle range as far as speed tiers are concerned, so don't expect to be outspeeding a ton of things on your opponent's side of the field without any boosts to your speed stat. And as far as this Pokemon's tiering is concerned in the Smogon metagame, this Pokemon currently finds itself in the PU tier. So with that, let's take a look at the first moveset that I have for you in this video. So for this first moveset, we're going to begin by giving Whiscash either a Calm Nature to increase its special defense but lower its physical attack, or a Careful Nature to increase its special defense but lower its special attack, depending on whether or not you want to run physical or special attacking moves on this moveset. But for the ability, we're going to be going with Hydration, and for the EVs, we're going to be maxing out its HP and its special defense with 252 EVs into both of those stats, while putting the remainder 4 into its speed stat to make it 1 point faster in that department. And for the item, either running a Damp Rock to extend the turns of rain from 5 to 8, or running Leftovers on the set to allow this Pokemon to recover a little bit of HP at the end of every turn. But for the moves, the first one on this set that we're going to make use of is going to be Rain Dance to set up rain on the battlefield for 5 to 8 turns depending on whether or not you're using the Damp Rock item, and also give us access to our Hydration ability as well as power up our water type attacks and the water type moves of our teammates, which allows this set in particular to be very effective when used on a rain team. But for our main water type move on the set, we're either going to run Scald as a special attacking option which has a chance to burn, or Waterfall as a physical attacking option which can flinch. And then for your third attack, running either Earth Power for your stab ground move on the special side, or Earthquake for your stab ground move on the physical side. But for both of these options, we also have the potential chance to run Toxic, which can work very well on this set because this is a more defensive set, and you can basically stall out opponents very easily through the use of this move, as your opponents will be taking increased damage at the end of every turn while they are Toxicked. But for the last move, we're going to be running Rest, which is going to work really well in combination with Hydration and Rain Dance, because while rain is up on the battlefield, whenever we go for Rest, not only will we heal all the way back up to full HP, but we will also be immediately cured of our sleep status thanks to the Hydration ability. But in addition to running Whiscash specially defensive, you can also run a very similar moveset physically defensive. So in this variant, we're going to start by giving it a Bold Nature to increase its physical defense but lower its physical attack, or an Impish Nature to increase its physical defense but lower its special attack, again depending on whether or not you want to use physical or special attacking options. But again, we're going to go with the Hydration ability, but this time our EV spread is going to consist of 252 HP EVs, 252 defense EVs, and 4 speed EVs to max out our physical bulk. And for the item, again, a Damp Rock or Leftovers can be very useful on the set, but we also have the added option of running a Rocky Helmet on the physically defensive variant, because most contact moves that would activate your Rocky Helmet, causing your opponent to take damage, are physical attacks. But for the moves, this set is virtually identical, with the exception of one extra move on this particular set, which is that of running Amnesia as a potential option that this Pokemon has access to boost your special defense by 2 stages, and make Whiscash incredibly difficult to deal with, because you're going to be having max physical defense with also a potential chance to burn with the Scald move, and then also boosting your special defense further to make it so that your opponent will have a very difficult time taking out Whiscash in the rain. As for this next moveset, we're going to be running Whiscash Specially Offensive, so we're going to start this one off by giving it a Timid Nature to boost its speed but lower its physical attack, and then going with either the Hydration or the Anticipation ability on this set. But for the EVs this time, we're going to max out its special attack and its speed stats, with 2 VV2 EVs into both of those, while putting the remainder 4 into its special defense, and for our item, going either with the choice specs to increase the power of all of our special attacks while locking us into a move, or a Life Orb to increase the damage of all of our attacks at the cost of losing 10% of our health every time we damage our opponent, but having the freedom to switch up moves, which the choice specs does not allow. But for the moves on this set, we could either run Hydro Pump or Scald to be our main stab water type attack, Hydro Pump obviously being the stronger option, but a little bit inaccurate, whereas Scald is a bit weaker, but a decent alternative in that it obviously has that chance to burn your opponents. And then for your main stab ground move, we're going to be running Earth Power on the set to be a powerful ground type attack to be able to fire off. Then for your third and fourth move slots, we can run additional type coverage in the form of Ice Beam, and then also possibly even include Future Sight as a alternative as well in the set to have an attack that you can fire off in the air that will be damaging your opponents later on in the battle, or running Scald in addition to Hydro Pump potentially as a way to give you access to 2 water type moves that you can pick between. But for an additional option, we could also run the Rain Dance Rest combination on this set again to allow this Pokemon to take advantage of the hydration ability on a more offensive set that you can use to again boost your damage of your water type moves with the Rain Dance, and also be able to give you a little bit more longevity and being able to heal up to full HP and then immediately wake up at the end of the turn, which can also work really well when used in combination with your Life Orb Recoil, because you can completely get rid of all of that by going for Rest. Finally, for the last moveset of this video, I have a powerful physically offensive sweeping set for Whiscash to run. So we're going to start this one off by giving it a Giant Nature to increase its speed but lower its special attack, and going with any ability on the set, as they all have some use in one way or another, whether it be Oblivious, making it so that you can't be taunted while you attempt to set up, Anticipation, making it so that you can see if your opponent has a super effective move to know if you can safely set up, or Hydration if being used on a rain team where Whiscash is one of your sweepers to take advantage of the fact that you can't be statused while you attempt to set up. But for the EVs, we're going to be maxing out its physical attack and speed stats this time with 252 EVs into both of those and putting 4 into its special defense. And then for the item, running either a Life Orb to increase the damage of all of our attacks at the cost of losing 10% of our health every time we damage our opponents, or running a Z Crystal on the set of any of the types of attacks that we're using to give you a one-time use of a super powerful move of that type to enhance your sweeping potential. But for the moves on the set, the first one that we're going to go with is going to be Dragon Dance to allow Whiscash to boost its physical attack and its speed stats by 1 stage every time he goes for it, which will make this Pokemon significantly more powerful and faster so that it can outspeed a bunch of opponents and also damage them with its now boosted physical attack stat. Then we're going to be running Waterfall or Aqua Tail to be our main stab water type attack, Waterfall being a little bit weaker than Aqua Tail but having 100% accuracy and a chance to flinch, and then also running a Stab Earthquake as our main stab ground type attack to give us some really great neutral coverage and also stab coverage all around. And then for the last move slot on the set, we have 2 potential options, the first of which being Bounce, which is a great move specifically for Whiscash because it is weak to grass-type Pokemon, and Bounce being a flying-type move will be super effective against those, especially when being used in combination with Flyinium Z as your Z Crystal if you choose to do so. But we can also run Stone Edge in this last move slot as well to give you a powerful rock-type attack that could also be a good candidate to be used with the Z Crystal, and will give you really great neutral-type coverage overall against pretty much everything you're going to be matched up against when used in combination with your stab, water, and ground type attacks. But anyways everybody, that is it for this video, so thank you all for watching my exhibition of movesets for Whiscash, and as always, take care, goodbye, and I will see you all next time.